Morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Kind of just getting straight to the point. Getting straight to the point. We could come back lower and take this low one more time and go below discount, and I'm okay with that. Remember, I'm coming off of a losing day yesterday, but really today's main focus is to mitigate, mitigate, right? Get some of that loss back. You guys were here yesterday. You guys saw me take 3 losses back to back to back. That's perfectly okay.
Carson, do you mind showing me where you anchor those standard deviation, the projections?
Yeah. Really, what I took was just where I'm this breaker that I'm using right here.
Mm-hmm.
So we have uh, we have a low, a high. From that high, taking out the low, I'm using this right here because there's a point in liquidity that's been taken right here. I'll zoom in a little bit. Right, so I've found I like to use when I have my breaker set up right here. I like to use the from the low that takes out the initial low to make the breaker model.
Mm-hmm.
I take the low and I click and drag it to the high of the breaker, and I use that as my fulcrum swing, and then that gives me my 1, 2, 3, 4 projections.
Even though we're leaving a end doc with the current opening, if we were to open right now.
Yeah, I think that this thing's gonna it could retrace it and come into the discount of this high to this low,
Mm-hmm.
but I would be surprised if we. I like us staying somewhat heavy-handed to the upside today with how we traded overnight. We could get a little bit of retracement into some of this range in here, but I would prefer it not, especially how this set up. We took liquidity. This is the top half of this. The way we're responding on this daily BISI right here, after closing above it, there is this 1 hour BISI that I would be looking at right here. That's why I have this level, but I would prefer it not to go back down there. I would want it to kind of stay heavy-handed, especially where we are within dollar. Um, with regards to dollar, we just pulled up in and look at how we're reacting off the consequent encroachment of this BISI. I would like to see some downside momentum there.
And the stop, you have it just above of the 50%.
Yeah,
Shouldn't be
I have
lower.
I have my stop right here at this level.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I did that is because I am okay with this initial trade. I'm putting a little bit less risk because I have a feeling that it could come back down into here and then go higher.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have a feeling that it could go without me. And I don't want it to leave me today. So this is me putting something on right now, making sure that it might not come back down into here, and it might just start going higher. The way price is looking, it looks like it could potentially just start spooling higher. We have news in 20 minutes. If for whatever reason it comes and takes me out and hits the stop, perfectly fine. I'll get right back in, and I'll get in on the bottom half of this. But the reason why this trade right here with me getting in here with my stop here is with the idea that we've already delivered into the breaker ahead of news and might not want to deliver back into it before going higher. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Trying to process the information. So if we were to go back to discount, you will see another PDL rate to on the 1 hour. You will see that one to get in,
Yeah, I mean,
or
I'll
depending
watch.
on the news.
I'll watch how it plays on this lower half of the breaker. If price comes down here and takes me out, I'll watch to see how we play. If we come in here, come back up, and then whatever, I can find a trade in here or in here with my stop at this low. Right? Then my next stop would be here. And if that doesn't work, then I will use, this 1 hour BISI in here and see how price trades. So there's 3 kind of areas that I'm looking at. Usually when I'm getting a hit, ever getting in ahead of 8:30, I keep my stop as tight as I can. Because sometimes it could just go without you. Sometimes it's not quite ready. And I had preferred it not necessarily just go without me. So if it takes my stop, great. It's going to give me a better entry. $18 still move. Perfectly fine. Just a small loss. Very teeny tiny. Was not even a quarter of a percent. Just wanted to put something on to make sure that it didn't move without me. Want it to kind of get below equilibrium. Because we've got two breakers in here, I just would prefer get into equilibrium based on the range. All right, so there's me getting a fill right in at that equilibrium. Notice how my stop's a lot wider now. Still quarter percent risk. So it's still a very light risk. But now we can at least just know that we're in below equilibrium. And I'm in on 5 contracts with 4 selling up. 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 2, Does the entry make sense to everyone? Right, we've got a 1 minute breaker and a 5 minute breaker. We've got a low that has taken out opposing side liquidity. We've got a clear high. We take that, we grab our equilibrium. We wait for price to trade into that range of discount. Yes, I had gotten into a trade prior to that. I understand that. With regards to, I'm putting a lot less on the trade. The stop is a lot tighter. It's just with the sake of price had delivered into that area, being the breaker, just not the discount prior. Whether you like to do that or not, it's just trading preference, risk tolerate, risk appetite. It's up to you. I kind of like to always put a little something on just in case it just goes, right? Because I've seen it happen. Price comes out, takes me out at the low, perfectly fine. We wait for price to deliver into the discount. It barely taps it for right now. Now we're going higher. What's going to give hand that price could potentially go higher? Well, you're going to need PD arrays, in this specific instance, premium arrays, to start to break. You're going to need things to collapse and validate, right? SIBIs. Right now, obviously, the SIBI is respected. You would want to see price trade through it, keep it as support. This is just yesterday from a 4 hour perspective. You guys can see we just came and tapped that previous day's high one more time. Overall prices found a very clean way to recover. I'll be right back, guys. Yo, did you just handle it overnight? So there's one PD array that's invalidating. 7 minutes until news. All right. You were on the stream yesterday. The PM session, AM session, I didn't take anything. If you were on the PM session, you saw me take back to back to back losses. Hopefully today you get to see me mitigate some of that, right? One big spike. There's this 5 minute biscuit right here. Note that delivery, right? This is something that this is my main model, is when we have a breaker coming off of a higher time frame array with the idea that it comes into whatever range it creates, it comes back into the discount. And you have that displacement busy in here. My go-to model, man. I love it. I love it. But we'll see. We'll see if price wants to get on its feet today or not.
You had a pretty nice run up in the London.
1 second. Let me turn my music down a little bit. What was that?
That he had a pretty nice run up during pre-market, London and Asia.
Yeah, and that's something where
It actually took already took the target, the first target that you had yesterday.
yeah.
555.
Yeah, I saw that. And I think when something like that happens with regards to the whole narrative behind the higher time frames and where I see the higher time frame liquidity, it's kind of just one of those things where you're kind of just trying to hop on the train before it leaves, right? When it kind of does that overnight movement and it takes all those stuff, like this 4 hour candle right here, when it does this 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. run higher, I have found that in and around that 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock area, it's going to maybe give some tiny little retracement, but you're going to want to try to get on the train before it kind of goes.
Do you usually start with your full position in this type of trades before 8:30, or you leave some dry powder to add more?
I'm going to see if I can have potentially add some more. Probably would be able to add it here. If it gives me another delivery in this city, busy, I'll do it. I was changing my song right when it did that. That is okay. And I'll have this whole run higher potentially to add some contracts, so I'm not too worried about it. But remember, my main focus of today, even if I come out profitable, my main focus throughout this trade is to take some of the uh, losses, right? Mitigate all those losses that I had yesterday, right? They were very small losses. They were not big, but it was 3 consecutive losses. So I want to make sure that I'm mitigating that. Would have been a beautiful pyramid right here. There's one partial. Mm, there's a little bit of news for you.
I was just watching the 15-second chart on this on ES to see if there was any like gap, and 45 60 25 it had a gap from like 8:16, and dude, it stopped right there. I mean, it filled the gap and then it took off. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna come back again, but it's pretty impressive on 15 seconds how it comes back and I feel that little gap.
Yeah, I see that actually right here. See if it wants to just come into the bottom half of that breaker.
So initial jobless claims was lowered, so that's positive for the DXY. That's probably why we had that bit of a retracement on
Yep.
DXY.
Exactly right.
But the core durable goods is what's lower, so that's bearish for. So it kind of makes news there. In your experience, the Michigan consumer expectations, does it have a big weight on a day like today before a holiday, or
No,
no?
not really. Oh, man. We close above the equilibrium of this, I'll buy it.
So the 1 minute, right?
Yeah, this is just a big rejection block right here from the news. We go down and close, touch the equal or consequent encroachment of it, and then close above it. I'll probably buy. It's this somewhat close to it.
Yeah, but is that the 5 minute, right?
Yes, this is 5 minutes.
5 minute. Okay.
I don't know, Scott. Oops, we better trade. I don't know why I did. Let me just do that. So we will wait. Might have to do it on a market execution. It also could very well consolidate today, so that's something that I'm trying to make sure that I don't necessarily get caught in another range. I wonder why it's rejecting my orders. It's like I'm holding those 4 contracts. Tried doing some pyramiding, but it was rejecting it. Started moving. Finally let me clear them.
So you have to change your stealth stop on the last one for 4, otherwise you will be short.
Oh, I forget that it averages in. I'm just gonna delete this stealth off. I'm looking to break even now. Failed the 5 minute. At least we're getting a little bit better activity than we did yesterday, huh? Yesterday was just, I called Henry after it and I said, dude, I have not sat through an AM and a PM session like that. Because usually, if I'm not streaming, like price action, I'm just going to get up and go do something else. But I wanted it to be really learning. I wanted it to be a learning activity for you guys. And I wanted you guys to actually, I wanted to get in. I knew I was probably going to really lose. And I wanted to see how you guys could see and react in the market with regards to how I was able to take those losses. And then with that being said, hopefully come in here today and see how I came in and mitigated it and how I didn't let it rattle me or shake me. But man, just terrible price action. Nothing you want to trade in.
And your rule is that you have 3 bullets. After the 3 bullets, you're done for the day.
Yes. And sometimes I do fight with what's considered a bullet, because like this first little initial entry I had today, I didn't even I risked 0.25% on it. So it's like, well, do I use that as a quarter? So if there's instances like that, like there are days where I might have 4 trades, but the only reason why I would do that is if for one of the reasons one of those trades is very, very small risk. That would be really the gist of all of it. But yeah, for 80% of the time, 90% of the time, it's 3 bullets. Three bullets till an empty clip. Relative equal highs in here.
When you put your stop at 61,
Mm-hmm.
just because it shouldn't retrace at all 5 handles from the high that just made, or why is the reason that you're doing the stop
So
there?
one, I had a pyramid, so I pyramided this one contract all the way up here, but then I like how price just delivered right here on this breaker and on this BISI, and how price was this was very sensitive on this last one right here.
Mhm.
Candle right there, how it just came in, touched the very, very tippy top of it, and then displays. If we close above this high too, this will be a swing point. So I'll just where how market structure has responded, we've kind of been able to find a bottom here. So I've got my stop there. And I'm not trying to, I already want to preserve risk as much as I can. I already took one partial today. Remember, like my main frame of today is really going into today with the idea that I want to mitigate the loss from yesterday. If I get more out of it, I get more out of it. If I get just what I lost yesterday, that's fine. Um, and if I get more, great, right? It wasn't a crazy losing day. If all of these limits hit, it'll actually be a profitable day, profitable week actually, taking into account yesterday. Um,
Once you hit the first one, the 45, 65, 75, 25, you
mhm.
move your stop,
I'm not gonna move it.
or you just leave it there.
Yeah, I'll move it when the next one gets hit though.
Oh.
So when 45, 70, 125 gets hit, I'll move it.
It seems to me that Michael usually he said that 5 stop handle should be like the maximum. So I'm thinking like every time that I'm in a trade, I I count like five, five.
Every 5 handles, you move it.
Yeah, like yeah, exactly. So if it
Yeah,
if it hits there, like I will give like a little bit room. Like if my entry was the same as yours, and if it hits, then probably like I will move it to like 62
yeah.
or maybe 61 and 50 or whatever.
And 62 is still a good one too because of how we we reacted within this rejection block and the closure of it. 62 is perfectly fine. I might move it up a handle whenever it hits 67.25.
It's unbelievable how we're leaving all these end dogs on all these indices to the downside. The day that we start going down, that's gonna be insane.
Mm-hmm.
But that's probably gonna happen more towards the beginning of next year, right? I don't see
Probably. Yeah. It's
whoever
gonna come.
whoever is shorting this market is getting wrecked. But one thing that I know and that I've noticed, and based on my back test, is that futures gaps, they close. They really close. I mean, they you know, sooner or later they will close.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of when.
I'm watching to see if this 5-minute closes above or below these equal lows. I'd prefer it close either at or above it. Not looking like it's going to. Which is okay. Good recovery. The BISI right here. Candle closure respected it. The only thing that worries me is that there is a BISI right here. This breaker, but we'll be fine. 5 minutes till 9 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. See what a 1 hour is looking like. 1 hour looks good. Kind of just starting to clear above this rejection block, trying to break these highs. We're in and around 45.66, which was that main liquidity target we've been talking about. It already got hit on Monday. Now we are back here again. This will be a good area to look to see what lower time frames do. Creates BISIs in and around it. I haven't checked up on the chat. I know we're in here early this morning. I know we're in here. Who do we have? Who do we have? Honora, Axel, Emmy, Leslie, Matt. Mauricio's been chatting with me. Nabil, ORO. Father. I saw your text this morning, Dad. Thank you for that text. P, I think that is Victoria. I'm pretty sure that's Victoria. I could be wrong. Victor, what's going on, brother? Hope all is well. If you guys were on the call yesterday, you guys saw me take some losses. Some losses in the market. Not many people like to talk about it. Not many people like to show them. Y'all got to watch me take them. Y'all got to see my calm, collected demeanor following those. And I told you that I was going to be here this morning, mitigating those losses, and here we are. Here we are. We've already got one partial in, and then pyramiding off of that partial again. Hopefully looking to get another partial. I probably won't pyramid for the rest of it. Gonna just kind of let this thing do its thing. I've already mitigated almost 3/4 of what I lost yesterday if I were to close out right now. I mean, it was a very small loss day. Just lost a couple $100. Nothing too crazy. I am trading the minis on here, showing you guys because, or excuse me, the micros. I am trading the micros. I'm not trading the minis. I feel as if it's a lot more educational for you guys and a lot less stressful on my end, not having to worry about trading the micros with the risk. There'll be days where I trade the micros for you guys, or the minis, but the micros allow me to take a lot more partials. Shows you guys that I am taking partials and how important those are. So all is good there. Waiting to see if this 5-minute can close above 45.66. Can we close above 45.66? That is the key. We have yet to close above it. Got a 1 hour to our right. Got a 5-minute to our left. This is the regular mini chart, higher time frame. I've just been using this on the lower time frames to execute. Hour closes in 1 minute. Right in and on that 45.66 level. That is wild. I'd be curious to know if we close right on it. 40 seconds or so. Definitely playing with it. Overall terminus today, I know it is kind of a stretch, but we're going to see if we can hit it. It's 45.82. Don't hold me accountable for it. 45.82. We'll see if we can do it. I'm not sure. It is a very weird week. We don't have really anything going into tomorrow. It's a bank holiday, and I don't think anything crazy will happen on Friday. I could be wrong, so I'm expecting price to maybe potentially run its weekly liquidity today. There's no news in the PM session, so I'm going to try to get as much as I can out of it on the AM session. Hourly just closed. We closed at 45.65 and a quarter, so 3 points off there. All's good. Seeing if we can still get a push higher. And we do. There's another partial taken right there. Let me readjust the sell stop actually.
You gotta do that because the other day I left it.
Oh yeah. I've done it too, brother. I have done it too.
I mean, it was good because he played on my favorite, but I was just like, holy crap.
Yeah, and that's something that I wish TradingView would look at is like
Shoot automatically, man. That's why you put in the sell stuff, and I don't know why it doesn't.
Yeah. That's ruined me too. Because like the thing is like sometimes like let's say I get stopped out here, I'll exit this one and exit this one, but then I'll forget that this one's up here. And it'll bite me in the ass one day. But other than that, here, if you guys want to see a 1 minute, if you guys want to see my entries, right? So I had a very early entry. You were on right when I got on, trying to see prior to the 8:30 news. I put a very little tiny, I call it a leader. I put a leader in and put my stop right here, very small and short, just in case it delivered into my area prior to news and didn't come back into it. Although I was wanting 45.60. It stopped me out in a very, very minuscule loss. That is okay. If there's one thing I can tell you guys and try to show you guys over the next couple weeks is, guys, losses are fine. They're okay. They're the cost of doing business, and they're a tax for more knowledge, right? It's nothing crazy. And then what do we have here? 45.60. It delivered in. I finally got a good fill after a streak of not getting good fills. Got a good fill at 45.65 contracts, and then now we've just I pieced one off at 45.65 and a quarter. Got a pyramid entry on a small little breaker right here post news. Not as good of a fill at 45.63, and then I went ahead and took that bad boy off here, 45.67. Just kind of chomping away at the bit, nothing crazy. Trying to hold as much as my volume as I can. Squeeze as much juice out of the lemon. Probably will not pyramid anything else today and just try to manage it accordingly. If you guys have any questions, I'm here for all of y'all. Alex said that the DXY filled its 15-minute inefficiencies and took sell side as as it's going higher? Is this one of those instances where they are just decoupled? Let me go look. Yeah, I mean, this is an instance where they're just moving together, and I'm not really as worried about it because the market can still move in this BISI and go lower next week. To me, a lot of the reason, and that's why I'm not really looking at the DXY right now, is because I'm so bullish on ES and I know that we have certain liquidity targets to run. Um, the idea behind it is more so to make sure that I get a piece of that run as we go higher. If we hit 45.71 and a quarter, I'll move this up a little bit. Um, but yeah, they're just moving together, and you're going to get a lot more of that in November and December. You're going to get a lot more of them moving together. Even yesterday was so hard. I was trying to trade them like you're supposed to, and it just doesn't. Even when they were trading against each other, when DXY was going lower, ES was just consolidating, not really going higher, and it just was super, super hard. And I will admit there are times where it can be a little bit more or a little less confusing. It should be the right word. It's a little less confusing if you don't put too much attention on the dollar on these weird periods of times. You're probably like Carson. You literally are always talking about the dollar. I know, but still, it's something where you have to realize if what is normally supposed to occur, if that's not or probabilistic for what could occur in this specific time range, seasonal tendency that we're in, then just try not to maybe pay too much attention towards it. All right, so we just hit the rejection block right here. So I'd be curious to see if for whatever reason we have a little bit of a speed bump. There is a volume imbalance in here. Got a little tiny volume imbalance. Little tiny volume imbalance right there. Great to see that you maintain the same bias from yesterday. Yep. Not gonna let it affect me. Just still kind of doing what I see. Doing what I see. Let's go back out to a 4-hour. Whoa. As I click through smaller time frames, there's nothing too crazy that I see besides this 1 minute BISI. And that's why I'm keeping my stop loss where it is because there is this 1 minute BISI. And unless we can take this, okay, obviously we have this right here that we could be filling. So we could keep that in mind. If we take 4171, I'll move my stop up a little bit. I need to go get water soon. It's funny, I woke up this morning, the first thing I did was just check the charts on my phone in bed. And I saw where we were and I saw what we had done overnight. And I just walked my ass straight up here. Just got right to it. I posted the link. Didn't
Just
say
like, I'm not gonna lose it today.
didn't say a word for the first like 5-10 minutes.
I woke up like at 3, man, and I thought about you with that 45, 55 or 56. I'm
Yeah.
like, man, he just play out exactly, but unfortunately didn't during the regular session.
Yeah. And that's just trading. That's the fun part of trading too, though. That's like that's like the that's when the market gets to like when you know what you're doing and you're very skilled at this stuff, that's still the market getting its jab at you. Right? Like I know what I'm doing and I'm very skilled at this stuff, but it's still gonna find times to get an uppercut in and kind of knock me on my feet for a little bit. And it's
It's like the guys that are managing like these big funds, if they know like if you were to be working with them, you can
yeah.
easily know like, okay, our bias is, long, and if we can take some hit, we will really get invalidated at this level, and that way, it can leave the portfolio breathe. But
Mm-hmm.
with our portfolios, we cannot, unfortunately, we cannot afford that. We gotta be right or miss the train.
Yeah. Yeah, no, when I woke up this morning and I saw what price had done overnight, it wasn't even like it's not even like a dang it, I missed it. It's like it was let me get my ass up out of bed, kick the sheets, go upstairs and see if I can find myself an entry. And I was like, I'm not going on no rant or chit chat. And I told myself, I was like, I'm not going on no rant or chit chat until I get a solid found entry and I feel comfortable with where my entry is in the market. Then I'll start chatting. Curious to see what 930 brings. Trying to see if there's a comfortable place in which I want to place my stop.
It will not only be a gap, it will be a liquidity void. It hasn't traded on,
Yeah.
so we have, we will be leaving that, and there is another one on the downside. Like if I like to see the 4 hour, but the regular trading hours, and damn man, there's so many gaps, like to the downside, and only one to the upside, which is like 46.45,
Yeah.
and it's just like, wow. That's like 400 points to the breaker that we have on ES. That's insane, like 4,200. 42.65 actually.
Are we tracing into a discount now? We are now into a discount relative to where our 8:15 low was and our 9 o'clock high. Is that a little tiny? You see potentially.
I think we saw the retracement on that 4 hour week at the consequent encroachment of that 50%.
Mm-hmm. I'm using this as on a. I actually pulled it from a 1 hour. It was this week on a 1 hour. To me, it's just a speed bump. We'll see though. I think equities open will do. It'll either come down here and it'll come down here and stop me out, or it will retrace back higher, or will continue expanding higher. Unemployment claims already came out. Really, the next news is at 10. And if for whatever reason we use this, we have this 5-minute SIBI be created, and we collapse through it, I'll use it as inversion as a pyramid model. Keep pyramid my way up. Gotta check chat. Gotta check chat. 16 people. Cool. Alan. Hello, Miss Kate. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. A little bit better price action than yesterday. Okay, so my main focus is going to be on Mississippi right here on the 5-minute. I'd love to see a 5-minute close up and through that, and then use that as conversion. And if 930 hits and we come back above here, right, so if we do something like this, right, if we do something like that, I'm in my stop at this low. I am curious to know whether or not this 4-hour closes in 37 minutes if we close above 45.66. If we can close on the 4-hour above 45.66, I think we could actually get a decent run today. I think it'll be hard to really believe that we could have a decent run higher today if we can't find at least 1-hour closure. At least 1-hour closure, but would really like this 4-hour closure candle to close right here at least at 45.66. I'll be right back. Actually, 7 minutes. I'll wait till open. Actually, I'll be back before opening. Alrighty, 5 minutes till open. Little tiny reaction off the initial SIBI. That's what it's supposed to do. All fine. We're looking for that cut through. My new thing, music-wise, has been Japanese lofi hip hop. I every single week listen to something completely different and new, and this week this is what it is. If anyone has any recommendations for music, let me know. I'll love to listen to it. Yeah, I watch UFC for sure. I love UFC. I watch all types of stuff. Watch all types of stuff. Football, basketball, UFC. Um, all bunch of stuff. 3 minutes. Looks like we are right now respecting the SIBI. So far. We got a breaker right here. Bearish breaker. Very clean bearish breaker. Gonna move my stop a little up just in case this 9:30 open melts. This is a very pretty breakout setup, even though I'm expecting it to fail. Does not look like it could for right now. We're finally getting back below that equilibrium. We got high, low. You take out the high. Failure swing above 45.56, 45.66. You displace. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes and takes me out. Would have been a great short entry right there. Relative equal lows down here. We'll see. Uno momento. Uno momento. Still getting used to this screaming thing. There we go. Oh, it was a pretty breaker setup until it got invalidated. That's why we're long.
Will it be invalidated until it closes, no? Or
Yeah, it's got 25 seconds on a
ah.
25 seconds on a 5 minute.
Hopefully it's not a mohawk. Come on, close it above. God damn it. There you go.
Yeah, they closed above.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see this be used as inversion. breaker right here. With the BISI potentially. Well, that mitigates all of my loss for yesterday. So whatever else I get today, I get to keep as profit. You guys saw me take 3 losses yesterday. On those 3 partials, I was able to make back what I lost. That right there is the game of trading, is understanding that in itself. Yeah, if you were on this call yesterday and you were on this call, I'll move that in a second. This is flying. If you're on this call yesterday, you saw how terrible yesterday was, price action wise. You saw me take back-to-back losses. You were able to now watch me make that back on my longs this morning, which was the same idea that we had talked about prior to that. I think that the main thing I want to get across to you guys is understanding how important, if you can remember, and if not, there'll be a recording, my demeanor when I left you guys yesterday, right? When I left you guys yesterday, when I got off that call, I didn't sit here and take my glasses off and rub my eyes and get all mad. No, it didn't phase me. Right? It didn't phase me, and there's a lot of reasons why it didn't phase me. One, because it's happened time and time and time again. It also happened with money that I'm okay with losing. My risk is fine, and I also knew, and this is the one thing that I was most certain in, is even if it wasn't even today, but there was going to be a day where I found mine, I got mine, I got that back, I got it back, right? And there's days where the market's going to get you, right? The market, if you look at our entries where we were looking at entering in yesterday, right? If you were looking at all that stuff, right? That was down here. Time did not allow us to do this. The market was not ready. It was distorting time. It was too hard to get in here, right? I got in right here. And that's perfectly fine. I'm now able to end my week profitable, and like I'm trading on a small account, like, for you guys. This is nothing crazy. This is not, my main account, whatever the case is, because there's no reason to do that. I wanted to show you guys the numbers, show you guys what I'm up, so you guys can see it. You guys saw what I lost yesterday, and let me go ahead and put the stop in before I forget, by the way. Oh, sell stop. There we go. So yeah, I mean, it's like between yesterday and today, there's a lot of lessons to be learned. And it's not always about Matt said, we saw the 3 bullets get used, risk and rules were respected, it's still a win. Yeah. Yep, I used all my 3 bullets yesterday. I only needed 2 today. And one I don't really even count that first one as a bullet. That's what this is called a leader. It was nothing really crazy. But that's also to show you, like, you guys need to get so numb to the idea of this there being losses on your trades. Yes, it's nice and it's sweet when you get in and your first trade's a winner and all that stuff, but like the result, it drives me insane how so many people are so driven by how their backlog looks or where the executions look. Like there's nothing pretty about this. I mean, look at my best entry. I bought like, yes, it's a really good entry. I was getting terrible entries yesterday. Some are good, some are great. It's all about this gray area that you can maintain yourself in. And with the way we're running right now, I'm potentially going to break this up. Um, I'm going to break this up 1 second, guys. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call really quick, and then I'm going to put, actually, let me do it really quick. Let me just put one limit on. Hold on. I can call them back. Where was this? Here. All right, trade. How do you say that? Gotta squeeze as much as I can out of this. Okay, back to a 1 minute or 5 minute. All right, so the four standard deviations have hit now. Right, the four standard deviations. Remember this fulcrum point I was talking? I don't know who all was on here, but I think it was Mauricio that asked. Remember how I was telling you about this fulcrum point that I used with the breaker with the entry?
Yes.
Yeah, so these four have been hit. If you wanted to, you could go add 5, go and add 6. You could add as many as you want from that. I don't really like to go past 6 or 7, but this is my terminus is 45,997. And I remember I said something around 4,600 yesterday. And Mauricio, I remember you were like, "That's not for today, right?" And it was because I saw
Yeah.
this, and I was like, "Well, we might get this today, and maybe this next week, whatever the case is." We didn't even get either of those yesterday. We got them today, and at least got this today, and very well still could get this. I mean, we're 10 minutes into session, and we already pushed up a decent amount, so we'll see. Does the entry make sense, by the way, guys? Does the entry make sense for everyone watching?
Be honest with you, with the run that we had pre-market, I was very hesitant because of the liquidity void that we just left.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean that was my only concern on my back of my head, saying, well, I mean it looks okay, but we have the 9:30 open and mixed news, so that's kind. It put me on the fence.
Yeah.
But that's obviously that's experience. How it is. So
Yeah. Your entries are perfect in my opinion. I mean, it's 6 years, but it's also they're not perfect. Right? You were on the call yesterday, Emmy. You were on the call yesterday. You saw me lose 3 trades back to back to back. It's just part of the game. Part of the game I love. But now, even following the result, right? Drain, like it's my responsibility as the trader to drain the ego, right? I've had trades better than this. I mean, if you guys think about it, look at where my trades are from yesterday. Wherever it is. I don't know if does it show? I guess it doesn't show. But our entries yesterday were down here, right? I got chopped in that, right? It actually was specifically this. That's where I got chopped out. And that's a whole nother 15 handles lower. Right? I'm okay with having the amount of risk that I had. Oh yeah, you had to leave. I forgot that. Um, but yeah, I'm okay with my entries, right? This is when you get to a point like this too, you should never ever. There's not a thought in my head that says I should have added more. I should have added more. Nope, I added exactly what I was okay with. Right? There's no reason to have large risk coming off of a day where I lost back to back to back trades. Alan said, "Don't be mad. I wanted you to lose yesterday only because I know how to win, but I struggle on how to take a loss." Insightful. Thank you. Yeah, not a problem. I'm not gonna lie, Alan, and I had a conversation with Henry before this. I wanted me to lose too. I wanted to take losses so you guys could see it because that's the learning exercise, right? That's the learning, right? You can only learn so much from wins, but it's what you do when you lose. And if I hide that stuff from you guys, what am I? What type of role model am I? I don't need to hide that stuff from you guys because I'm confident. And that's where you're going to get a lot of the learning, right? If you were on yesterday's call, you saw me lose. You saw me have certain reasons as to why I got in, why I put my stop loss where they went. And for the most part, if you actually watch that while I'm in the trades, I kind of start to see that I'm going to get stopped out before I even got stopped out. If it comes all the way back down and takes me out, that's perfectly fine. There's really, I would prefer, now that we're so heavy handed to the upside, I think I'm going to try to, we've got all these busies. I'm going to try to find, really, there's nothing besides keeping my sell stop here. I kind of just got to let it sit here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find this low right here. I'm going to find it here. I'm going to see where that equilibrium is. See if we want to deliver into discount. I'm gonna go grab a water, guys. I have yet to have any water today. I woke up and literally came straight here, thinking that we could. There's a pussy right here. My eyes are currently right here. I'll be right back. I am back. Does anybody in here play video games? I know y'all play video games.
I play FIFA.
FIFA. FIFA.
A soccer guy.
There you go. I like FIFA. I play a couple. I dabble in some FIFA. Yeah, you guys probably hear. I'm upgrading my mic this week, so I'm gonna get rid of this big bulky headset, and I'm gonna get a better mic. I'm gonna get an open mic, maybe a lapel mic or something. But you guys probably always hear I've got roommates that are behind me that are always constantly playing video games. They are always hearing me jabbering on these calls. I always ask them. I said, "Do y'all know what I'm talking about when I'm on these calls?" They said, "It sounds like you speak Chinese." They have no clue. It's a foreign language to them. So price is coming back down into this discount. Just totally healthy. $9.50 macro.
Got some speed, huh?
Yeah. There you go. So y'all saw a little bit of my leader. Saw my main entry. Took one partial. Another pyramid. Another partial. Another partial. Another partial. I had holding two up here. Didn't quite get there. Wouldn't see me getting back in the market as I've already mitigated everything. Right? That's part of the game, right? You have to understand, right? Large run higher, we filled all of this. Be curious to see how we play for the rest of the day. But with regards to me being a participant, I do not think I will get in anything again, right? There's no reason for me to get back in. I mitigated my loss and got a little bit of profit. There's that initial BISI that I was looking to see potentially come and fill. And this 4 hour, that's 5 minutes. And if we close below 45.56, we could start to go lower. But notice how that initial fulcrum point hit all 4 standard deviations.
But if we were to close on the 45.66 and with this big displacement taking basically the low of the opening at 9:30 at 8:30, wouldn't you think it's a good setup for short?
It could be. Yeah, I mean, we just invalidated a lot of VISIs, but we have huge displacement here, though. So let me go look at a daily really quick. The only thing I could see it maybe wanting to reach for is this 1 hour BISI right here.
But at that point, on the 15 and 5 minute will be market shift structure, no?
Yeah, I mean, all this structure gets shifted.
And then the silver Buddha will play out as a short. I'm just
Yeah,
saying. I'm just asking, just
yeah,
for integrity, not you know.
yeah. No, I mean, it's one of those things where this is just straight spool, right? This is just straight displacement on higher time frames. So if I go back out to a daily,
And that is creating basically a bearish breaker.
yeah, you would have a breaker here. This whole thing would be the breaker.
Mm-hmm.
We just took liquidity at 9 to 8:15,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this is why partials are so important. If I would have just held that all the way to my terminus, would have not been a fun morning. If we can get back above 45.66, 45.68, though, we can come all the way back above. 2 minutes. Curious to see where this 4-hour closes. Oops, I did not mean to do that. My bad. Oh. Let me do some math really quick. So far respected this breaker. And that 4-hour did not close. See how we used 45.66 as a level. Inverted BISI right here. Looks like we're heading into this 1-hour BISI. 4-hour BISI. So I'm going to clear all this up so we can see that 4-hour BISI clearly. Draw that out. All right, there's this 4-hour BISI. Still in that 10, 950, 10, 10 macro. I'd be curious to see how we react at this 4-hour BISI. It might offer a trade opportunity. Volume stuff here. Also could be the high of the day.
So the silver buller is between 10 and 11.
Yes.
We have to look for market structure shift on the 1 minute, which we had, and then find a PD array and a place, and a drawn liquidity to that direction. No,
Yes.
technically speaking, and
Yeah.
especially if three fair value gaps on the lower time frame have been violated. So, which is the case here. I might just paper trade this short if we come, just to try it out. But what I'm struggling is where will be the target on the downside.
Yeah, that's what I'm struggling
Like
with right
midnight,
now too.
like midnight open.
You
Like
could use midnight open. That's what's hard about the short is just I'm so bullish on higher time frames. It's hard to
change the bias.
yeah, it's hard to find liquidity. And there's still liquidity on the daily up here. What I would really like to see is if price actually comes all the way back above here, using this as a bullish breaker to fill a lot of this.
Well, the liquidity void that we left from regular hours goes from like 56 to 54. So that's only like four handles away. So it might just, that's probably what he's looking right now. If you put the 4 hour, but just put on the regular hours, you will see, clearly that that's probably that where he wants to fill that, I guess, to go up.
So like the only thing I would really play is if we come into here, we come up here, we use this as a breaker and then go higher. That would be the only thing I would really like to play. I don't feel comfortable with shorts just because, like you said, there's no clear draw on liquidity. Tired. All right, let's switch up some music here. Yes. Oh, sorry, I'm a little late to this, but yeah, there was news at 10. Axel said I'm a trophy hunter. I don't know why I get this thing that like Alan and Axel are brothers. I think it's just because their names are so similar. All right, we're getting into this 4-hour fissy. Better. Still have yet to dip into that 4-hour fissy. There we go. Look at that price action, huh? Crazy price action. My roommates love Fortnite. They love Fortnite. Ugh. Milo, you want to give the chat a signal? You want to give a chat? You want to give the chat a signal? Buy or sell? Me and Henry were talking about, I think next year, one big thing next year, what we're going to try to do is do some live in-person events, some meetups. We're going to try to get a map of our demographic and see where and what locations are.
Miami, the sexy cities right now. Jeff Bezos is coming here. Everyone is coming here. So
Yeah, we're gonna do one in Miami. We're trying to think of where else we're gonna go and try to do some
no Vegas, please.
other
My
ones.
wife will not let me go there. Meeting with you guys.
All right, no Vegas. But Henry's actually moving up to Charlotte, I believe, in the next couple months. So he'll be up there. But yeah, we'll do some in South Florida, and then we'll come up north and we'll do a couple. Try to just come and meet y'all, have like a dinner and maybe a live in person little tape reading session. Little tiny Bissy right here that just got filled. Curious to see if we hold this low. The reason why I say that is because if you look at this, right, look at that. We pushed, that was right above this 4-hour Bissy. We pushed into there. Find good reaction here. Fill this Bissy. I won't get into a trade unless I see some closure above here. I might find a little trade. I'm not going to hold a trade this long, really, but I might get a little piece of something. I'm only going to go till about 11:30, 12 today, so we'll see if it offers it. Yep, Nabil said there's SMT on the lower time frames.
Say SMT on the lower time first. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I'm going to go look. Nabil, are you talking about NQ and ES? Talking about that SMT? Oh, he said he wants to see SMT on the lower time frames. Oh, excuse me. I'm allergic to stop runs. Ah. Still not done going lower yet. Curious to see if we fill this full Bissy. This would offer us another potential breaker, right? If price comes into here, fills this, comes back up here, right? You've got that breaker right here. I would like to really see displacement here, though. Somewhere in here. If we're going to go higher, give me a Bissy. You know, it's funny. I had a very funny, um, NQ just took the low on the 1 minute, Nabil said. I had a funny realization because as much of a trader as I am, I like gambling. I like the idea of gambling. I like playing blackjack. I like sports betting. And I found when I do like sports betting or I go play a couple games of blackjack, it kind of drains my system of the gambling mentality. And it allows me to kind of scratch that itch outside of trading. And it allows me to not let it seek and kind of seep into my trading. So if I mentally can be like, I can gamble outside of trading, right? I can gamble outside of trading. I can gamble responsibly outside of trading. But that allows me to get that idea all out of my system in a safe environment that's not trading. And it even allows me to take my trading a little bit more seriously. Uh, might be totally different for others. Some could say, well, now you're just creating bad habits. It's from person to person basis. But it kind of hit me the other day. I was like, you know what? One thing that actually helps me stay away from the gambling aspect and it allows me to stick to my trading plan is just when I'm not trading, if I just want to gamble, I just go gamble. Like I go play a couple games of blackjack. I go, I'll bet on a football game or something like that. Or I'll play Mauricio in FIFA and play him for $10 or something like that. Like if you can find ways to scratch that itch, because if you don't leave that, if you to me at least as a person, if you leave that unscratched, it will find ways to seep in. Okay, well there is a breaker right here. We have a low, a high. We take out the low with no closure at the low, and this would be the breaker. There's a little tiny Bissy right here. I wonder if there's any clear. There's no clear Bissy. This might be a Bissy right here. Pushing into this civvy. If it runs, if it spools above here, I'll use this as a breaker. See where these extensions line up. I like this -3. Also, this -1. Yeah, so if I do get into a trade, I'll take the whole thing for the -3. That 45.66 level, very important level. At time frame, we have SMT at 655 low, was took on NQ. NQ just took the low on the 1 minute. He's talking about this. 19, 19. Yeah, I don't know if it's SMT or not, but ES. NQ took the low, but so did ES. NQ's got a breaker here too. NQ looks a lot better with regards to this breaker. I would like to see this.
That breaker, the consequent question is what, 40? 0.40?
0.37.
0.37. Is this the type of trade that is called turtle soup? That is, you get there and basically you put the stop at the low of the day.
I don't know. To me, this is just like that unicorn model. And Q pressed into that breaker. I've been a good entry right there. ES still hasn't done it yet. Good play on NQ right here. Beautiful play. I want it deeper. I want it deeper. No, wait. I want 45 to 66. A little pissy right here. It might go without me, but that's fine. I wanted a little bit deeper retracement into that.
Technically, we're in a bearish breaker right now, no? We already passed it.
We passed it. Yeah, we're outside of it.
And the only thing that we need to invalidate a breaker is a body closing above the breaker, right?
Yes. Mm. I wish it would have gave me that entry. And Q did it perfectly. Creating a Bissy on the 5-minute. 3 minutes. It's not going to give it to me. We'll see if it wants to come into this on the 5-minute. Oh, Nabil had said he was using that SMT with regards to YM. It didn't take the low. It didn't come to this one, and it didn't get deep enough for this one. frustrating, but it is what it is. That's why this entry right here would have been the least, it would have been your least threshold of an entry right here. See if it can get deep here.
You're doing these scalps like, um, do you measure the range between the high and the low of the session, like the Asia and
Sometimes.
okay.
If it's clear to me and if it looks like it's applicable, yes. Sometimes it doesn't seem as applicable to me.
It looks like the low that we did. It was the OTE. Now in hindsight,
It gives me this. It'll be my last trade of the day. I use this Sibi as inversion. It gives me a very tight stop though. Oh, why did it do that? Oh, good thing it didn't. We closed back above it though. Okay, thank God it didn't. We get back above it though. I'm basically just risking what I'm in profit on the day. So I'm trying to calculate and fit. is it doing this? Yo, I'm live streaming right now. What's up?
Live stream.
Yeah.
I was seeing what's happening. Planning on letting dogs out.
About an hour.
Yeah, letting out that early.
Yeah. I want to use the Sibi as inversion if it's not going to go lower, but it looks like it has a chance to maybe go lower. It's not wanting to get over this 45.71 level. NQ is just kind of hanging. We got two bissies in here that I'm hoping if NQ wants to reach for, that would mean this would reach down in here a little bit more. Coming back for more. You're golfing, right? What time are you going to be done? Okay. No, we should be good. I think Owen said Yolanda's coming clean, so. This thing does not want to go in this bissy. If NQ's doing it. NQ is still not doing it either. Oh, man. I'm waiting to see how it closes. Why is it doing that? It's not letting me buy. I don't know why it's not letting me. It didn't let me trade. Did not let me have those entries. Maybe TradeAwait's having some problems. Is he right here?
Finally got in.
Stop loss would be 45.61.75. I'm looking to see how this closes though. Curious to see if we close above or below this. It's NQ down. NQ is revisiting this. Oh, I come to my initial breaker. It's 11 o'clock, which is the only thing that's scaring me a little bit, but we'll give it a shot. 45.60, 45.56, 45.56. All right, well, it came in my original breaker. I was actually going to buy in here and it wasn't letting me, so I'll just count that as the trading gods looking out for me. We pull from this low to this high. We are now back into a discount. Stop below the breaker. Because of time, I'm going to be a little bit quick to move my stop higher and stuff like that. We're coming into that 11 o'clock hour. I'm actually going to just move it up a little bit already. Basically just risking my profit on the day. If I lose, I'm break even on the week. If I win, I was able to dig myself out of a hole and more. We can get back above this high right here. I'm going to move my stop to this low. There's a stibby right here. So if we close above this SIBI, I'll probably move it. $11 o'clock. Volume imbalance. And then my stop at this low. I'll use this as a breaker. Let's see.
Is that on what time frame? I can see
15
it.
second.
Oh,
I'm gonna
15.
try to walk this thing all the way up to the 15 second. So this should be right here. I'm gonna go break even now. No more risk for the rest of the day. Should be right here. Stop's gonna go up here. $45.66, the biggest level of the day. Can we get above it? And our biggest speed bump.
On the 5 minute, we have some very nice equal highs.
Whatever low we find in here, we find a low in here and go higher. I'm in my stop there. Equal highs up here. Some closure above 45.66. Happy Thanksgiving, Amy. Good seeing you. Hope you have a safe, fun Thanksgiving. No call this week. Me and Henry are going to do our midweek review right after I hop off this call, get that out to you guys, and then we'll be back next week. Hope everyone has some good time off. Well deserved. Look how it's just playing in between this Sibi and then this Sibi is inversion. This is what we call consolidating. This is what we call osculating, whatever you want to call it. See right here. Be right back, guys. Call. Sorry, guys. That was my my friend Daniel. He's in person, but he scared the living shit out of me. He scared the living shit out of me. Thought it was our cleaning lady. Okay, we still have yet had closure above 45.66. You ever seen a 15-second time frame? I'm gonna mute myself for a second, guys, and talk to him. But if you guys have any questions, obviously I'm still gonna be calling out stuff. So if you have any questions, I get a little ding, and feel free to come on the mic and talk. I'm gonna go ahead and move my stop up now. We finally got closure above 45.66. The only reason I'm using the second time frame right now, guys, and trying to walk this thing up is because of time. I want to try to get as much out of the market as I can prior to this 11:30. There's equal highs right here. Mauricio, did you see what they're doing with the bonds? Did you see that new Treasury bond announcement?
No, I haven't. What is it?
Apparently, it says they're going to quote unquote delete the entire $34 trillion Treasury bond market off all of the books as a great
How,
reset.
how the hell they're gonna do that?
That's what I don't know. I'm sitting here reading it on Twitter right now. And apparently this morning, Jeff Bezos sold $10 million of Amazon shares.
Well, the Jeff Bezos things, I knew it from yesterday, yeah. But
Yeah.
the bond,
Yeah, this is. I mean, this is just Twitter stuff, but it says it's this guy. I mean, he's verified, but it says over Thanksgiving weekend, the U.S. Treasury is going to delete the entire $34 trillion Treasury bond market off of all books as a great reset.
Hmm.
So interesting to see how that is something where you might have a huge new week opening gap going into next week. I'd be very curious to see how that
but
plays.
that's to the downside, I will say, no? Or no?
I'd have to really look into it. It just depends on where
Order filled.
it is, where DXY closes this week and where ES closes this week and where everything kind of plays out. Relative equal highs up here. Price trades back above here. My stop will go to this low.
You got me thinking, like, what will be the impact on the markets on this? I mean,
I don't
you cannot just wipe out $37 trillion just like that with no impact. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
It's just like you own your company, you owe to someone, to the bank, and then you just want to dump right off your debts without any repercussion.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be weird to see. This needs to go. A little 5-minute Bissy right here. We'll see if it stops me out here. I'm just gonna call it a day. Come on, market. Very clean relative equal highs up here. Now we're kind of getting into some high resistance stuff. Ooh. Victoria, it was you. That's the TS. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Yes, you and your family. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I told you guys they're obsessed with Fortnite. Look at them back here. Fortnite maniac. Who's still in it? Who's still here? Chat, who are the ones that are still here? Honora's still here. Axel's still here. Kate's still here. Dee's still here. Joel's still here. Matt's still here. Mauricio, first one on. Nabil, ORO, Pablo, Padre, I still see you here. Victor, still here. Y'all are hanging in there with me. We had a quick little easy run into profit, but now it's kind of giving us a little bit of higher resistance here. Patience, patience, patience. Almost got stopped out there. Part of me was kind of hoping it stopped me out so I could be done for the day and go enjoy my Thanksgiving, but patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue.
You no longer want to be with us?
No, I love being with y'all. I no longer want to be on this seat, this chair. I want to get up, go do some stuff. That's why I wish I had a standing desk. I mean, if y'all could see my desk is probably 3 feet this way, and then it comes all the way around. It goes another 3 feet down there, and it is big. It just doesn't stand up. I mean, I wish I could.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'4", 6'5".
Oh, the same. Well, not the same. I'm 6'3", so
Yeah.
I feel your back pain.
Yeah, I'm a tall one. It's funny when I first met Henry.
He should.
When I first met Henry's he's not. I forget how big he is.
5'8"?
Yeah, he's probably around like 5'8". But he gets out of his car when he came to my house. He gets out of his car and he looks up at me and he goes, You do not look that tall on the calls." I said, "I know." My dad's in here. He's like 6'6".
Do you play sports in school?
I played baseball. I played baseball and I swam.
God damn it. Paolo Nebuloni, 6'7". That's a
I
big
know.
dude.
Really, Pablo, you're 6'7"? Sheesh. Huh? Yeah, I know. All right, well, we're still not able to get above 45.66 here. And it didn't like it being above here. It's just these relative highs are very clean. I'd prefer those get here. We do have relative equal lows right here, but we're kind of betting on those relative equal lows to stay. This might be it. We can get back above this. We've got a breaker. $11.30. We can get back above this. We've got a breaker. $11.30 might have been our saving grace. Got a breaker right here to hold us. I move my stop even up more. Civvy right here. We might use this inversion. Then we get a run to buy side. Going once, going twice. I play basketball all the time. I still play basketball. Me and my buddies, we love to go play basketball. Real clean highs. Real clean highs. When we run this liquidity, I'm going to move my stop. Whatever low we form in here, whether it's in here or it's in here, either of the two, I'll move my stop higher. I would expect once we get above this, once we get above here, I should just start going. Little tiny busy right here. Oh man, I'm gonna be stretching big when we get off this call. What would you guys say is the biggest value you guys have? What's the if you guys could take one thing away from yesterday and today, what's one thing you guys could take away?
Patience.
Patience. Patience, patience, patience. A good one.
The value of hearing you out and 6 years of experience trading, it's, for me at least, it's something. I've been 1.5 years, and I mostly do like swing trades.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, seeing you like doing the trades on a minute or second base is, it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of value. So thank you.
Yeah, not a problem, for sure. Yeah, and it's funny when you Matt said learning to wait for ideal entries, framing a bias. Pablo said trade management, moving stops, etc. I think it's so funny too when you get into trading, right? When you first get into trading, you're going to make all the mistakes, right? It's just figuring out what the other side of it looks like, right? When y'all are all, for the new ones in here, when you're getting in there and you're making mistakes, it's like, it's so valuable to like, what does it look like when it's right? Like, what does it look like? Whatever I'm doing right now is not working, and I know what that looks like because I've been doing it and it's not working. What does it look like when it's right? And then, that's where hopefully I can step in and show you. And right might not mean winning a trade. Right might mean something like yesterday. Right? Yesterday was just as right trading wise as this was. Right? Our targets didn't get hit yesterday. Right? Our targets got hit overnight this morning and today. So having those losses, being able to cope with those losses, not spiral, understand that everything that I lost was within my risk management, and then just come back today clear-headed and go back in and get them again.
No, and what I'm most impressed about is the way that you guys read the price action,
Mm-hmm.
and just think about it, guys. Like, let's say like in 5-10 years that you have your own capital, you can be managing these positions and leaving it like as a swing trade,
Yeah.
and not focusing like in the super tight stop losses. Because, for example, yesterday you lost 3 times yesterday.
Yep.
Because of the stop losses, right? Like everything. But if you had like some room to let it breathe,
Oh yeah.
it's way easier.
Oh yeah.
So
Instead of using a 15-second, use a monthly time frame, stuff like that for sure. And this is years down the road, but my end goal is to start my own firm. I want to start my own firm. I want to start with my own floor. I want to have a small set of traders that I trust, that I've watched, and I've kind of seen grow, and I want to give them capital, right? Not necessarily a prop firm, but an actual fund. Like, you're not trading your capital, you're trading the fund's capital, the private equity fund, and then from there, you're making percentage off of that big bulk of capital that we have. That's kind of the end goal. Let's see if we can use 4566 as support. We've got this breaker that hasn't been touched yet. We might be coming back into there. Not really using this SIBI right now. And I'll probably, wherever we are, I'll close the trade at 12. Ugh. It's funny, my dad's on this call, he's probably still listening, and I called him when I went downstairs or something, I was chatting with him. He goes, yeah, I've been listening, I got you in my ear, I've been walking around doing this stuff on my house. I said, Dad, this is not the one you want to listen, this is the one you want to see. This is not the call to have in your earbuds and you're not paying attention. Obviously, if you really, really know this stuff, you can almost hear it and then see it. but I was like, you want to watch this stuff. This is where, this is the call where it's nice having it up on a computer and watching it and seeing it, seeing when I'm getting in, seeing when I'm getting out, seeing what PD arrays I'm putting on. Kate said risk management and mental fortitude. There he is. Now he's on the screen. Um, but um, but whatchamacallit? Yeah, I mean, even Kate, a couple weeks ago we were talking about how, Kate's been wait, hold on, I'll go back to that, Kate, one second. But Nabil said I don't recommend trading and doing 7 days fasting. Yeah, I mean that's gonna drain you. That's something that's hard to do. That's hard. You always want something in your system. Um, but Kate, me and Henry started talking about it too, and when Kate was sending in her submissions, we could just tell from her trades she had great trades, but they were very tiny trades. She was not holding for long, and we were like, man, if we could get her to start learning how to hold just even tiny pieces at a time, a little bit more at a time, if we could get that and get her to understand that idea of, yes, take partials, yes, take those things, but really look at those higher time frames and see what you can get and turn those 1 to 5 minute trades into 15, 30-minute trades. You can get a lot more you can get a lot more bang for your buck. Well, we're still holding on. I mean, these relative equal highs right here are my main idea. Once we get above here, I'm going to start jamming my stop pretty tight. I don't really care whether or not it comes up here. And quite frankly, the odds that we get up here are very slim to none, but we'll see. I've seen it happen before, even without a news event. But we got 20 minutes. See if we can do it.
Forget to cancel that order out.
Yeah, I will. I'll make sure.
The other day I did the same thing, man,
Yeah.
and it got me.
Do you guys like the second charts? I mean, I like the second charts when I'm already in the trade for a little bit, even though I know if I'm trying to hold something for a little bit longer and I have plenty of time early in the session, I like the 5 minute. But if I'm got like 1 hour or 30 minutes left, price action before I know I'm getting off, I like coming down on as close as I can get, and just start to see if I can walk it with regards to moving my stop high. So that's something that I really do like, just because
If you do the second chart, is because we're getting into that lunch hour, and
yes.
you want to be out before the lunch.
Yep.
That's why you okay.
I'm curious. Look at these candles right here too. Look at this, open down, come here, done. There's no candle body in any of these 3 candles. If we can get back above this high right here, we'll have another breaker, and I'll put my stop at this low.
How reliable are those 15-second breakers, Carson?
As reliable as the current run. I mean, if you can see this, like this one, this one, put my stop here, it ran here, but we left this and didn't really get a fill on this. So that's why we're coming back into here. There's one right here that didn't quite really get filled. I mean, it's all super near term. So like when you're trying to figure out where price is going to go in the next 1 to 5 to maybe 15 minutes, yeah, they're pretty reliable. Right, so now I can come here. I'll leave this. I'll take this off. And what I'll do is at 12 o'clock, instead of just closing it, I will start moving it to every 15-second array that I see. And if it respects, it respects. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and it'll close me out. But I will get very quick to move it. Now I'm going to move this though right here. Right? Now I'm going to stop to move. Notice how I don't rush this either. The only time I'm rushing it is when time is a factor. Here we go. Look at these relative equalizer here, these two little guys.
The three big macros that we should focus, it's like the one at 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., 10 to 11, and 3 to 4, or would you suggest to look at time, different time?
Yeah, 3 to 4, 10 to 11, 2 to 3.
2 to 3, 2. Okay, so 2 to 4 basically.
Yep.
The last 2 hours.
Nabil said, I really want price to stop me out, move my stop loss into profit. Axel said, are you rushing or are you dragging? I would say probably rushing. I'm going to move my stop up here. Now I want it to even. Now I want it to just start to run. Comes back down here, fine. Or I should start to spool higher. Because if it's going to run these high, if it's going to run this high, we just started purging the liquidity in here. So either it's going to purge that liquidity and then use that as internal liquidity, come all the way down. Or, because if it's going to sit here and do this large, big range thing where it's coming back and forth, I mean, it's not worth my time. Might do that, but I would prefer it stay heavy-handed to the end. At the end. Sibby. Top goes at the low, we closed above it. Now I'm rushing. Oh, you're talking about Whiplash. I love that movie. I love that movie. Whiplash is a really good movie. "13 minutes till we really start to press it." At this point, I'm disconnected to the trade too. Like whatever outcome, whether it wants to hit my stop profit or if it wants to continue going higher, obviously I would prefer it to go higher and hit my limits. But I'm disconnected emotionally with it. Right? It's a win either for me. It's a win either way, dollar-wise, but also it's a win because it's gonna give me a reason to get out of the market, close up shop, walk away, enjoy my Thanksgiving. I've got all this afternoon. I've got fun plans with my family and friends all this afternoon, this evening, tomorrow, Friday, all that good stuff. I get to walk away, clean state of mind, coming off of a win. All losses from yesterday have been mitigated. Was able to walk away with a little bit of profit. 12 minutes. Watch the inversion.
Carson, I know that you look the market very intraday and weekly basis, but just out of curiosity, do you think that we'll take the highs? I mean, we already took the highs, but we will continue to working towards buy side, and then while the XY starts, reconstruction to the upside to start seeing downside on the indices.
Yes, I want on a daily. Oh wait, I still got it in. Oops, let me trade it up. I still have one more thing in actually. I'm gonna put this top a little bit. Ordered. Stop. I'm just gonna put it actually at that low. Yeah, with regards to like a weekly, I want to see how we react when we fill this SIBI. My main target's 45.97 and 3/4. So that's why I've been so bullish. I'm trying to see how when we get up to that level, how we react. If we close above or below or inside, however we react and behave in here.
So you're not looking into that gap all the way to like 46.90 something, I believe it is, on the regular hours.
I mean, it's possible. It's just that's above us, so I want to see how we get here first. I want to see how we behave here first. That could guide me and tell me whether or not that'll be viable. This area and how we behave will tell me whether or not we could potentially go there. And yes, there will be a day and there will be some time going into next year. I hope so. Sooner rather than later, where this will be an every week occurrence, where I will be sitting here and streaming my trades. And I will be trading sometimes demo accounts for the exercises, sometimes smaller accounts like I did this week, smaller live accounts. And there will be times where I do my bigger accounts.
The quarterly shift theory, it says that it starts on January, the shift. So right now we had this last one, and I think it was for the buy side, right? So the other one, when does it start?
Let me look. I think it starts in December to February, February to May, June to September. I don't know. I have to look. I have it in my notes somewhere. It's either December or January, I think. 7 minutes. the equilibrium. Oh, there it is. Here's the business for today. Let me give y'all just an overview. So,
Thank you.
good session.
Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Good session overall today, right? Got some good buys. Had an initial little leader here that didn't necessarily play out. That's okay. Got a really good buy here. Probably the best entry you could have gotten for the AM session, 8 o'clock on. Took a partial here. Pyramided here. Took a partial here. 2 more partials up here, right? Getting that lines portions of the move. I don't have to, and I'm going to stress this, right? You don't have to be a seller here. You don't have to try to force that mold, right? Got the I got the portion of it, right? I got this portion of it. That's fine, right? That these right here, right? Mitigated for the most part. 90% of my trades yesterday. These gave me a little bit of profit. I utilized that profit. And obviously I got stopped out a little in profit here. Used that to get in another trade right here. Right? And just played it to right here. And I watched this on the 15-second all the way up. Right? Whether it goes higher, it goes higher. It's fine. You can go without me. I don't need to do that. I did my work for the day. I've been sitting on this chair since 8 o'clock. Right? So hopefully you guys got some really good takeaways out of this. Hopefully this was insightful to you guys. I appreciate everyone for sticking on all day yesterday and all day today. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Give your family hugs for me. Hugs and kisses from myself and Henry. I know Henry's not here. He's busy doing a bunch of stuff, but I know you guys like this stuff, and in the future, hopefully it will become a reoccurring thing. You guys are awesome. I wouldn't want any other community. You guys have been great. I appreciate all of you guys. Enjoy your Thanksgiving again. Have a safe, happy holidays. Do not spend time watching live price action right now. On all the days and all the weeks out of the year, this is the time where you should just be appreciative of the ones who love you and the ones around you and enjoy their time and company and have fun and just let go a little from the charts, get a little break. You're not going to miss anything crazy. The market's not going to go anywhere without you. If you want, maybe if you have some downtime, yes, spend some time back studying, do what you need to do, get lots of rest. Like Matt said, go touch some grass. I'm definitely going to go touch some grass. I've been outside it all today. And I will leave y'all with that. Thank you guys again. I appreciate you guys for being a part of this community. And I'm glad that you guys got some insight out of it. It will continue to grow. It will continue to grow. You will continue to grow. Thank you guys so much. Peace.